Hey guys, this is Natalie and welcome back. This is week 4 of my Project Weekly Life layout, and I am working in my digital 8x10 trade book with Blurb, and so I'm using these templates by Hello Tracy, I believe it's called, and they are available at her shop. I can leave the link below. And so basically all I do for each week is I go through and I find all of my photos that I want to actually use for that week. And Lightroom actually makes it super simple because you can go day by day and then choose or select the photos that you want. So this is just a weekly recap basically of our week for Project Life. And so some of these, as you can tell, I take a lot of photos each day, so I do my daily recap on Instagram. But since I don't use all the photos, I am using Ali Edwards' story kit, so I'm pulling maybe some of the photos from there. I am okay with not using all of my photos. I did last year do a daily, or for the few years, I did do a daily memory keeping, and I kind of just wanted to scale back. My kids, I wanted to do it daily so that my kids could see all the pictures that I did take, and since I was taking them, I might as well use them instead of having them store on my phone. But again, I am scaling it back this year, so my kids do get to see all the photos still. I have something called If This Then That. It's an app, and so for every time I post something onto Instagram, it gets transferred over to our family blog, and then since my kids I set up an email for each of them, so then they will be able to see the photos from there because then they're subscribed to that blog, I guess you could say. So they still get to get all those pictures that way. So I don't feel as bad as I have in the past that I'm not using all of my photos. They are being used somewhere in some shape or form, so I'm happy with that. I do find that now that it is wintertime here, I don't have a lot of pictures to take, and the kids are in school. My 2 oldest boys are in school, and then my daughter, she's only going to school twice a week for a few hours for preschool. So a lot of it's you don't get to see the boys unless it's the weekend. So I do try to include them at least once in this weekly page, but if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't. I'm just picking actually the photos that I like best from that day and then putting them into this spread. And so I now that I have all of my photos placed, I will go through and pick all of my cards. I'm trying to keep this super simple, so there are certain areas that I am putting just for my photos, and then other areas are going to be just for cards. So like this one that I'm working on right now, that will always be the title card with the date no matter what. And so you'll start to see, I think for the last 3 weeks, sort of what my formula is. I am trying to use maybe one card that has like color on it, I guess you could say, and then the rest of them I'm trying to just do white so that it's not too busy. But I am also doing the triangle. I think it's called a triangle. I don't know. I'm trying to do a triangle so it's visually, I don't know what it's called, so it's aesthetic for the eye. So you'll kind of see that once I get out of here. So I play around with this card. It's really like a 3x8 card, but I want it to be as a 3x4 card, so I'm just playing with it, and I realized that I should not put it where I wanted it. Now I'm having issues. But now you'll be able to see, now there'll be a triangle. So from the celebrating the seasons of beginning, and then the details with the watercolor card, and then the one that says something about partying. So there is my triangle. And then my next triangle with the 3 white cards is right there. So it's working. I think it's a good formula for me. It's pleasing to the eye. I'm just doing it that way. I think once I find an actual rhythm to things, I just kind of stick with it and I don't have to think that much. I believe this whole page or spread took me 40 minutes to do. And that's with also my writing that I needed to put in there as well. So I'm using Trello to write all of my stuff in the certain weeks or cards that are assigned to that week. I also use my traveler's notebook daily, and I write down all the things that I think are going to be important that day, and then I will highlight even, I'll go a little bit deeper, and whatever that kind of thing that stuck out the most for that day, I will underline in a certain color so that I can come back into Trello and then just write it. I think I'm going to just kind of do a layout like this where it's almost bulleted points of what happened during the week. I am writing more high level, and it's a little bit easier for me to do it that way. And then I will copy and paste certain sections of this and then put it into those cards on my spread. The deeper stories, as you can see, like in the background, there's a picture of my daughter. I had another one in there, but that's a story that I want to tell of like the things that Madeline says or whatnot. So I'm kind of like trying to accumulate and gather a whole bunch of different things that she says for one spread, so I can add to it as I hear them. And so then it's a little bit easier for those longer journaling type spreads that I want to do later on. And so now you can see I've taken the shorter, my little bulleted points, and I'm placing them into those cards so that they work or fit, I guess you could say. And yeah, it's super easy. Once you have your journaling done, it's just basically plopping it in there. I try not to overthink anything with Project Life or any of my digital memory keeping, because I will get stuck and then I won't do anything. So whatever's in my mind at that point, I just kind of go with it and don't overthink it. Like I said, it's not that big of a deal to me. I just want to get the stories, the pictures down, and things like that. This is one of the new cards from Allie Edwards. I believe it's in her, I want to say Bright. I think it's her Bright collection. I believe it's Bright. So they're like little monthly cards that I can use each month, and I'm just kind of an overview of what I'm kind of listening to. It's basically whenever I'm using this card, I'm going to then fill in those details. That way, it's just easier for me. But yeah, these spreads come together pretty quickly once you kind of have your formula down, like I said. But if you guys have any questions, I am happy to answer them. Again, this is going to go into an 8x10 trade book with Blurb. And yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.